Hello and welcome to another beautiful edition of Journalists Roundtable on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. You know how we do it on the Roundtable. We'll look at a few headlines for you today, coming from the national dailies of today. Then we might not be able to touch all the headlines, but then it's no longer news that a lot is happening, going on in the Senate. Well, right from yesterday, that story has been on. We will do a little analysis on it because INEC, as a matter of fact, is under spotlight. But then, I'm not doing it alone. This is Journalists Roundtable. The table is only round when we have three guests on it, or S. It's never round. Joining me on the conversation right here today is, to my left, as it is, as like you can see, we have Charity Markers. Charity is a journalist and also a public affairs analyst. It's good to have you join us, Charity.
Thank you, Ramsey.
Well, I'm going to be talking to you because I know your affiliation with the Senate. So we're going to be talking why you guys later, because I'm joining you now with the Senate, why you decided to go back. Can we say the protest is now yielding result? We'll talk about all of that much later. And also joining us on the conversation is Unyeme Aniete. It's good to have you join us. He's a journalist too. It's good to have you join us on the program.
Thank you very much, Ramsey. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Thanks for joining us. Let's get into the conversation right here. Our first discussion will be our spotlight on INEC. As a matter of fact, INEC, in one of the papers, is being said to be under a spotlight as Senate shifts grant on e-transmission. It's no longer news that there have been a lot of uproar after the outright rejection. Some people call it a throwaway of the real-time e-transmission of the election results for so many reasons, best known to them. Then there was a protest to that effect, and afterwards we heard that there is now a conditional, agreement for the e-transmission of election results real-time. Let me get started from you, Charity. The last time I checked, we were here, and we said so many things, and as of today, there is a conditional acceptance of the fact that election results would be transmitted real-time, but then there is still going to be room, for the paperwork, the result sheets also to be used alongside in case it fails. What do you think about that? Because some persons are saying, hey, come on, if you want to do this, then you don't need to have a probability. Just make it one way. If it is going to be e-transmission, let it be e-transmission. If it is going to be paper-based, let it be paper-based, because if it is just a transmission, then attention will be on that. But if there is an alternative, then there will still be room for excuses. What's your take?
Well, my take is that what the Senate did yesterday is basically trying to do something that will make Nigerians shift ground. For me, it's a lot of grammar and too much English and technicality put up together by lawmakers who also happen to be lawyers, so you know how they speak. Initially, what they did was that they replaced the word transmit with transfer, which resulted to that uproar and controversies that you see up to the protests that we saw on Monday, and even yesterday. On Monday, we had the former presidential candidates of the Labour Party joining the protest. That's Peter Obi, and as of yesterday, former minister, also former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amici, joined the protest.
And even came with his son.
Exactly. So what the Electoral Act actually wanted is results should be transmitted electronically as they are being cast. That is what they call real time. Like, if any party, if you cast for ADC, it should show at the headquarters at the ADC headquarters that this is what the result is. That is what the Electoral Act demanded, and it also demanded that it should be mandatory. It's not supposed to be conditional. There's not supposed to be an alternative. It should be mandatory. But since the Senate cleverly replaced the word transmit with transfer, and it caused so much controversy. When they came back yesterday for that emergency plenary, what they did was that they rescinded their decision of the other time, what they did the other time, and removed that word transfer, and now said, okay, now results can be transmitted electronically after the form EC8A has been signed. It will be filled, signed, and countersigned. After that, the result will now be transmitted. But should there be network hitches, whatever it is that is on that form will now be declared as the result of the election. So now, technically, if you look at it, it's neither here or there. Discretionary powers is still being given to INEC, because INEC can decide to get to a particular place and said, okay, because of so thing, because there was no network in XYZ polling units, the form EC8A is going to serve as the result of the election. Also, the certain senator that appeared on one of the TV stations, that Siraki Dixon, he argued that Nigeria is not ready for real time. But you can never know whether Nigeria is ready for real time transmission of results if we have not tried it. We have to try it to know. We have to do that. I think INEC did that in some off-cycle elections in the past, and it worked. So people were now wondering. That is why people, that is the main reason why people now felt that, hey, Nigeria can actually pull this off. But with what we saw yesterday and the outcome is still almost the same thing. INEC will still have to exercise some discretion when it comes to declaring election results.
All right, let me get to Anete. Well, Anete, as it is right now, there was a protest, and then emergency sitting was convened. Then the use of words, transfer instead of transmission, came up with an uproar. Now, from what she said, it's obvious that there could still be room. And that's why the headline is saying INEC is under spotlight. All right? Because anything is still possible. Do you sense any form of agenda? Why all of this up and down is happening? Do you sense... But there could be a hidden agenda. I don't know. What do you think?
Ramsey, let me take you back a little bit. Let me take you back to what we see in the education sector. I'd love to take you to what I used to hear when I grew up as a child. The popular word, M-O-C-K, mock. So for me, over time, I've actually heard and I've seen mock being done. When JAM wanted to come up with the whole CBT, they started with mock. When WAEC wanted to start, many years ago, I think at SS2 level, you have to write mock before you come to write the real exam in your SS3, which actually terminates your secondary education. So, if at all, at any point in time, the Senate, INEC, Nigeria government, which we all are part of, would want real-time transmission of these results, it can work. We only need to give it a try. Mock. We make it to happen first and then see what happens, and at the end of the day. Now, let me ask maybe a very rhetorical question here. Why would we have glitches? If we can probably say in the course of the mock, in the course of the real election itself, we could have a time frame for elections. So, election has never been that it must come up on the 22nd and then end on the 22nd. Of course, we see that even when we are doing the option that we have been doing and then the EC8A, we take a whole lot of days before we can have election results come. So why then do we want to do the election and then we are saying the transmission cannot be done probably because of glitches? If, Ramsey, you're voting from your home and you have the time to probably vote if election is done within a week, and then you can cast your vote on a Monday, and you try and it doesn't work on a Monday because of network, you can try again on Saturday. So there is nothing that can actually hamper the transmission of election results the way Nigerians are agitating for. But just like you mentioned, and I want to say, there is a foul play somewhere, and we are hoping that the foul play could be resolved before we get to 2027. Of course, we never can tell if we will reach 2027.
But do you believe that there are...
And I would also like to add that maybe we should not just get ahead of ourselves, because there's a concurrence committee already. That is the harmonization committee,
right.
The House of Representatives and the Senate. So this committee will now come together and come up with the final document. Who knows? It's a miracle. Something may happen.
I think something should happen, probably. I don't know if the protest is over yet. I don't know if Nigerians are already satisfied with what they are seeing. But the issue of network not being available in some communities, rural areas, do you see that as something that is reason enough to stop this e-transmission?
Well, I don't see that as something that could actually hamper.
But it's true that there are places.
It is true. So,
no network.
Ramsey,
I don't think, do we actually have communities that are shut out completely out of network?
Well, exactly.
What I do know is that we have communities that it depends on the place. If one network is not working, another network
would work. That's what I wanted to come up with.
So it's just a question of exploring all options.
Ramsey, let me also come up with this. We have senators representing us. We have House of Assembly members, states, and then we have the National Assembly. We have people who are representing us, and they can give us this. These are basic amenities. Network is supposed to be a basic amenity. I'm not supposed to fight for it. I'm supposed to have it as part of what I'm supposed to use as a Nigerian to live comfortably. Light, water, network, part of it. Let's leave life to God. So, I'm saying that the Senate has no reason to say that network glitch is the reason, or could be one of the reasons, why we cannot have the e-transmission. I'm only saying...
Now, what the Senate is saying is that you have the e-transmission, it's there. You can do it. But there's also a caveat.
No, that caveat is what I'm talking about. We should not even have the caveat. We should not have the caveat. Because if I know that in 2027 there's going to be e-transmission of results, then I should go back home as a senator to give my people what it takes to be able to vote.
But remember what happened in 2023. Beavers failed in so many places. And a lot of people lost their cases in court because there was no substantial evidences.
That was still because of the caveat.
The problem now is, remember, let me even start from during Jonathan's time. Card reader failed Jonathan the first time. He is in his own community.
Yeah, in his community, but it later worked.
It later worked. And immediately after that, he was almost about the first set of people that voted. And immediately people heard at other places, it was everywhere. And we begin to hear of glitches at different places. Don't you think, all right, there could also be same problem with this e-transmission? We're talking about technology here. It can fail anytime. There could be issues. Just let me call it glitches, like INEC will call it. Don't you think, I'm trying to let you, I just want to know from you why you feel this e-transmission can be possible 100%. That's what I mean.
Okay, so I started with saying that election must not be a day. I think I raised that very...
So there should be a mock?
Yes, there should be mock first. Then there should be a time frame for election. There should be, of course, INEC comes up every time with election timetable. So if there is election timetable that is saying that election proper will hold on the 22nd day, for instance, of February, then that means that we can actually say that elections, voting proper, will start on the 22nd through 28th of February. So that if I am from Akwa Ibom State, one village in Akwa Ibom, and I know that I can only access network in Uyo, I can take 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, till 28th to go to Uyo to at least access network.
So who is going to pay for the fare?
I mean, Nigerians are ready to make things work. So they can go out, they can go all out. if Nigerians could actually go to
no, you won't get people 100%. Let me come back to charity. You won't get Nigerians 100%. If you want them to commit their funds
Ramsey,
to this cause.
Do we have 100%?
You know what you're talking about. You're talking about what is obtainable in the US, where people can vote any day. You can vote from your house. You're just going to work.
That's electronic voting.
You're just going to work. You just stop by and vote, and you get to work. They don't declare public holiday for elections or anything. That's what. But Nigerians, let's tell ourselves the truth. We are not there yet. Because if you begin to tell Nigerians that, okay, you can vote anywhere. You can vote anywhere. Let's say we have 7 days for election. You don't have to stay at home for you to vote. You can just vote and go to work. You can just go vote on your way to work. Let's take a look at our population in the first place. As we speak now, we don't even know what is the exact statistics of Nigeria's population. Some will tell you
I'm not cutting you out.
Some will tell you some will tell you over 200, some will say 230, 180 million, only God knows. That one also is an issue.
We've not done census for a very long time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so that's an issue on its
of course, it's because of
for that to be for that to happen. So the basic one, the simple one that Nigerians are even asking is that let it continue like that. Let us have one Saturday for election, the way they usually do it. They say so and so day is for election, but let it be that everything that is going to happen on that day, as it is happening, it is being transmitted. That is what
you can see it from anywhere.
You can see it.
So you can't accuse anyone of irregularities.
If you cast your votes for ADC at their headquarters, they will be seeing the number of votes. Okay, from so and so place, ADC got a vote, PDP got, APC got. This is what Nigerians have been asking for.
And I'm support with
now what is obtainable right now is that after all the votes, they will now fill that from EC8A, and then agents will sign. There will be a countersign, observers will sign, so that will make it valid should there be network issues for that document to be declared as the result.
Okay, but then the possibility of it, there won't even be anything of tally because it wasn't transmitted in the first place. Let's get to INEC now. Eyes are on INEC. With all of this, because INEC is the body shouldered with the responsibility of the conduct of this almighty election. Now, INEC, is it possible for INEC to come out and say, give us this amount? We know how much, at least 1.something trillion, all right, goes down for previous elections, as the case may be. Is it possible for INEC to come out and say, well, we can do it? I know they told us so many things. As it is right now, a lot of people are even in doubt of what comes from INEC because of what happened in 2023 with beavers. I hosted the officer in charge of voters education severally, and he told Nigerians so many things about the viability of beavers, but we still had those glitches. So now, what is the place of INEC? INEC seems not to be bothered about everything that is happening. We've not heard from them. They are running their timetable, getting set for FCT election, council election, and all of that. But then, what do you think, Aniete, is the place of INEC in this whole thing?
Well, first, let me take us to the 2026 budget. If my calculation is right, if I get it right, INEC, the budget would have about 1 trillion naira. Okay, so
for elections.
For elections, so 1 trillion naira for elections. Big question: would that be enough to run elections in Nigeria? Answer: yes and no. Now, why is it a yes? A yes if we are going to go electronically. A no if we are still going to do the paperwork. And so,
meaning the paperwork is more expensive. Is that what you're saying?
It will be more expensive. So I'm of the opinion that INEC should rethink with Nigerians and begin to go back to the e-transmission and, of course, e-voting, if you ask me. And now, what is their place? Your question. What is the place of INEC in all of this? They are the last resort of Nigerians. As we speak, it is INEC, but we are afraid because, of course, the INEC chairman came from a source. I hold it there.
Have there been any? He came from source.
From a source.
From source. He's from Kogi State.
Okay.
Yes, of course, he is.
So
From Kogi State.
when you say source,
Yes, of course.
INEC chairman must come from somewhere.
He must come from
And
somewhere.
in this case, he is from Kogi State.
He's from Amopiton. Joash Amopiton is from Kogi
He's from
State.
Kogi
Yes.
State.
He's a son.
So
And one of the
Kogi
things.
is source for something. Is it the source for?
So what do you mean when you say sauce? What do you mean?
Well, like I said, I leave it there. I leave it on the table.
Is it yam sauce? All right, that's by the way. All right, let me get to you, Charity, as it is right now. We're still talking about INEC. So many things happen during the election, and at the end of the day, it is INEC. You remember the uproar during collation some times back when that man in quotes was shouting in FCT here that he doesn't accept that result during Jonathan's time.
That was 2015.
That was 2015. Now, during this, even in during 2023 collation,
every election in Nigeria, there's always a drama.
There's so many drama. In fact, what's his name? This Kogi man, I don't know, his own drama. Every drama, almost all the time. Now, let's get to talk about this. Would e-transmission of result real time stop elections, okay, from being tampered with? Because all we're clamoring for is free and fair elections. But then some people will tell you, no matter what you do, these people still have their ways, as it is being alleged. So do you think e-transmission of result real time would stop irregularities in our elections completely?
I think so. It may not stop irregularities 100%, but real-time electronic transmission of results will reduce a lot of things. But unfortunately, we don't have it real-time. This is the clever thing that Senate had done. The two keywords, mandatory and real-time, has been removed. It's not there. But if we were to have it real-time, that is where we talked about, as you are casting your votes, Ramsey, they are seeing it.
Everyone
People are
is
following it everywhere.
That would have been very sweet.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
So
you know the winner.
that should happen.
on your screen.
It will go a long way to reduce too many stories that touch the heart. Because at some point, you wouldn't be able to tell people that it was C when it is actually A. Because the entirety of Nigerians will be following. So at that point, whoever wins, Nigerians will say, yes, congratulations. We saw how it worked. Nobody said there is no policy, there is no implementation, there's no innovation or invention that is 100%. But one thing Nigerians are sure of is that this particular one, it will reduce. And I think it's high time. Nigeria has come a long way for us to have something like that. But it is not happening. But one thing I like to believe is that aside from the one that we had before, the former INEC chairman, he received a lot of bashing. Somebody even went ahead to sing a song for him, went into the studio and actually composed
But does it stop anything?
a song for him.
Does it stop
But
anything? He was nominated for an ambassadorial
Nigerians
position.
are hoping that Joash Amopiton will do something different.
Yes, he has promised, and looking at his pedigree and
something different, that
who
regardless of how the Electoral Act amendment turns out, the hope is that something different is going to happen. But one thing INEC should know is that Nigerians are watching.
Nigerians are watching. I
They
think
are keenly
that's
paying
the ice
attention.
on the cake.
They are watching.
Nigerians are
Every
watching.
Nigerian is watching. Nigerians
All
are
right,
watching.
everyone, Nigerians are watching. Let's see what will happen. Whether choice of words, the removal of mandatory real-time turning transmission to transfer, whatever it is. Let's see what will happen. Have Nigerians gone to sleep? The protesters, have they accepted what is happening now? What's the position of INEC? But there is a spotlight. INEC there is a light beaming on you. Amupiton has so much to do, but now can we go to Rivers State a little bit? After the meeting, well, the story of Rivers State, everyone, the smallest child in Nigeria is even aware of it. You know, you can't call Fubara and don't call Rivers, and of course don't add Wike, the FCT minister. Then what you want to say about Fubara is not complete yet. Yeah, there have been a lot of uproar from the state of emergency to the impeachment to the defection into APC, and of course the I am the leader, you are the leader, and all of that. After the meeting with the president, Wike commits peace and louds Tinubu's intervention. As a matter of fact, he said, well, everything is over now. What are you thinking about the situation? Do you want to say the governor of Rivers State has been caged, or what do you think? Well, when if Wike say there is now peace, what comes to your mind?
Okay, so if Wike have actually said that there is peace, I think there's peace. I want to accept with him that there is peace. However, on the other side, will Siminala Ifubara, Siminala Ifubara, allow or accept that peace? Let's also look at it. Will Wike himself, maybe going back to Rivers State, really feel the peace? Because all these peace talks happened in Abuja. So, returning home, will we really say that there is peace among these two? Now, will Wike return to the FCT as the minister of the FCT and remain as the minister of the FCT and return home as just a citizen of Rivers State, a one-time governor? Or will he go to Rivers State as one-time governor who installed the governor and now wants to also see what the governor is doing and take over the governor's seat and just allow the governor to have a piece of the cake? You know, so when they say there is peace in Rivers State, there is a whole lot that we have to look at. Let me even take us a little bit to the party that now houses the sitting governor of Rivers State, Siminala Ifubara, the APC. The national chairman of the APC have said that we have not yet accepted you into the party officially. It is because we have to go to the north. You know, the north is large, so we have to go to the north and finish up things there before coming down here, because Ramadan is coming, you know, is very close. And so that keeps Siminala Ifubara not really well seated as far as the party is concerned. Okay, coming back to the States. He was actually put there in one way or the other, as we see it as Nigerians. You know, a man played everything for you to be able to sit. And you have decided that, no, this man cannot just, you know, come into play when I am still the governor. When he was the governor, I did not come to play like that. So he's the FCT minister. Let him go. Let me take over. And so I see this tussle continue in a way. I see it continue until the day Siminala Ifubara will finish his tenure on seats. And so if there is a peace and a peace talk between these two that has actually made Wike to come out to say there is peace today, I'm seeing I don't want to call it, I'm just seeing a little bit of icing on the cake so that we will not know what exactly it is. I'm seeing a box and then just a piece of whatever inside the box and then covered so that we can just play around it and hoping that we are not all sitting on a time bomb where if we get up, it will blow.
All right. From what you said, it means Wike is still in control of Rivers. That's what you mean. Now, Charity, let's look at it. The whole drama between Wike and Fubara, is it worth it?
Well, when you ask, is it worth it? Is it for Wike? Is it for Fubara? Is it worth it? Was it worth it? To each of them, if you ask them, they will tell you it's worth it.
Why it is worth it even?
Now, let's look at it. Yes, everybody knew and everybody knows that Wike anointed Fubara and brought him in as the governor. And but then, Wike will not be the first godfather that we've seen. in this country, bringing somebody into power.
Probably not going to be the last.
Even the president today has been godfather to 1, 2, 3, name them. But we've never seen anywhere or heard him having issues with any of his godsons. Not openly anyway. For me, I see that what makes a godfather is the ability for you to be able to help somebody rise to a certain level. And it is because you believe so much in that person that this person can deliver. So what makes you a real godfather is for you to allow the person do the job you help him attempt to do. No interference. If you know a little bit about godfatherism, the real godfatherism is, I give you this phone. I say, Ramsey, this phone is yours. Do with it as you want. I want you to take care of this phone so that anytime anybody sees this phone, they will like this phone. But all I'm asking is that whenever you use this phone to do business, I just want 1%. And that's it. This is what it is. And allow the person to work. But what we saw happen in Rivers State, it wasn't even up to 6 months that Fubara became governor. Bass everywhere. The man that puts him there had what a lot of people could give an arm and a leg to get. That is the FCT minister. But people were wondering, why would he not concentrate here? And I also like to believe that, okay, this is not the first time the president will be interfering in their matter. Yeah, but this is not the first time he will be interfering. This is not the first time he'll be mediating. I mean, not interfering. This is not the first time he'll be mediating. And each time they all come out, they'll say there's peace, everything is okay. But from the way the Minister of FCT is talking this time, it's as if he has gotten all that. Because for me, if you ask me, I'll tell you that whenever you hear Wike say there is peace and we're not going to hear this matter again, know that he has gotten what he has always wanted.
Let me just...
As for Fubara, if we're going to look at it, analyze, for me, long time ago, I told myself, I said, if I were him, in my private arguments, I would have just let go. But the way it is now, he wants to make sure that he delivers as a governor. He went as far as defecting to APC.
A lot of people thought after the defection, everything
he
would be over.
He went as far as defecting to APC. Simple. Since the president has mediated, go back to Rivers State. But the next few days, it will not take time. The next few days will let us know if actually there's going to be, because actual peace will mean that Fubara should be allowed to discharge his duties as the democratically elected governor of Rivers State.
But
while Wike stays in Abuja and continue his projects.
Mr. Project.
Yes.
But then, the truth is
we would like to see a situation whereby whenever he travels to Rivers, he goes to pay homage.
And
not the other way around.
And return back to FCT.
And return back.
But let's look at APC. Let's look at APC. Media Pally all the time. He's used to. He has done it when he came to FCT. Now, with what is happening between Fubara and Wike, even though Fubara has defected to APC, which is the ruling party, where the president is the man in charge, as we speak, Wike is still in PDP, working with or for APC as the case may be.
Wike he's in the extended PDP, okay, APC, PDP, SPC, APC.
So, but as it is right now, do you think, are you noticing any weakness on the part of the APC leader as it has to do with this whole thing happening from the impeachment, though there was an intervention by the APC leaders because Fubara was already an APC member. He has defected when this issue of impeachment started. So now, nobody knew it was going to come this far. With the way it's going, even though we know the president has mediated, as the case may be, do you see any lapses on the part of APC for allowing this to linger this long? If you talk of ADC, all right, ADC is just an upcoming party. Talk about Labour Party, there are crises. Talk about PDP, the baba of them all crisis. Then in APC, this pocket of crisis, what do you think about APC as it has to do with APC's responsibility or function, or maybe their reaction, body language, as it has to do with what is happening in Rivers State? Even though Wike said everything is okay now, like she said, we're still waiting if it is really okay already.
Okay, so I needed to point out something very important in the speech that Wike gave in the course of reacting. Wike said that he appreciates the president as the father who has come to mediate between the governor and the House of Assembly, not him. Okay, so
it's not seeing himself as a problem.
So for him, he doesn't have a problem with Siminala Ifubara. So it is between the governor and House of Assembly members. So Wike, first and foremost, in the course of that speech, technically brought himself out, so that in case there is another issue later, you will not say he said himself. He said...
No, he has always said that the problem is not with him.
Yes, it's not with him.
He has always tried to... But
exactly.
If the problem is not with him, why was he the one being there?
Exactly, so...
For the mediation.
Okay, so he was there, the governor was there, House of Assembly members were there, and so he came out to say that there's been a broker between the House of Assembly members and the governor. So first and foremost, he is not the one having the problem. Now let's go down to the APC. The APC, like I mentioned earlier, have said that, Siminala Ifubara, you are not yet our own, no. Even though you have defected, we are sorry to say that we have not yet accepted you officially. Recall that sometime last year, the governor of Akwa Ibom State defected, and then it took some weeks before the grand reception. So
okay, there need to be a grand reception.
They need to be a grand reception so that he can be handed the broom. And as we speak, there is no grand reception for Siminala Ifubara, so he is not yet a member of
a full member
of the APC. Therefore, I think this is where I would exonerate the party, because it's not yet fully their member. So they are waiting until he becomes fully a member. Maybe they can jump in.
So there's an extent to which the party can go right.
Go.
All right.
So that is to tell you that there's still some background. There's still some background deals. There's something is not just right. If the party comes out to say, even though you have defected, you're not still our own, we've not welcomed you. Yes, that grand reception is not there yet, has not been done, but it was done for the governor of Kano State. In fact,
almost immediately.
We saw every governor was in Jos. Well, that one will take it to be that because the national chairman is...
Naturales from Jos.
So you have to be there.
And it's behind. All right. Well, let's leave Wike's matter and get to.
But honestly, to say the truth, for Fubara, it is not yet Uhuru.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the problem is right now. If Wike said there is peace already, let's keep our fingers crossed and see if peace has really returned.
That peace that Wike is talking about, for me, it means whatever we want, you do. Questions not asked. That's the kind of peace.
That's deep for a governor, for a democratically elected governor. Well, let's move away from Rivers State and come to ASU right now, federal government and ASU. You know, you remember the federal government ASU's deal, the strike. I don't know if any of you had strike while you were in school, but then I think I did. One of the longest strike, I think I was part of it. Now, federal government and ASU deal. As a matter of fact, it's sparking some form of outrage, okay? Because sometimes what we see on paper and what happens in real time is different, all right? Sometimes you think it's just politicians alone, but then we've had the federal government say things and some people will come out to do, well, I didn't get this, I didn't get that. We've heard that in the past. Only UNI just confirmed payment of what was agreed between the federal government and ASU. So what's happening to other universities? What do you think about this? Is it that something is fishy that we don't know? Because anytime, you know, these people, They don't even waste time before they go on strike. I think one of the most frequent strikes that we've had in Nigeria is ASU strike.
ASU.
You know, so what do you think, Charity, about this? Only Unijobs have confirmed that, yes, as a matter of fact, whatever it is, we have been paid. Unijobs.
Glitches network is still going.
Yeah, well,
network glitch. Again.
I doubt it. You know, when it comes to issue of money and payments of arrears, allowances, increments, and all of that, it could take time. But from what I gather from the report is that Unijust has started receiving. But other federal universities, they all say they have not seen anything. Now, this is where the issue is. This is why this problem has lingered from the 2009 agreement that federal government had with ASU to the one they now came back and re-agreed, and down to this one. In fact, there were so many sittings. Each time there is a strike, they go back to the table, they sit, they realign, they rearrange, and come out to say, we are going to do this. But there was something significant about this particular one, this particular renegotiation, that almost every Nigerian believed that this time around, we have seen the last of ASU strike. Because this particular government was very emphatic, that we will kick off this payment as soon as possible. There won't be any need for any strike. And now what we're hearing is that only University of Jos. I wouldn't want to say something fishy is happening. For me, I would just want to say it's a systemic thing, and let's just keep our fingers crossed and believe that since it has started, that it will go around. These are federal government universities.
So other universities should be patient, because
these
maybe
are federal
bureaucracy, process.
You know, this bureaucracy, the process and everything, and all of that. There's need to verify certain things, verification and everything.
Or we may have ghost lecturers, probably. Like we used to talk about ghost teachers.
I want to believe that it is still ongoing, which is always a Nigerian issue. Everything, once it gets to giving the masses what is duly theirs, there's always this snail pace arrangement. Because otherwise, if University of Jos is receiving, then I think this is something that should have been sent to all the universities.
Probably it's no real-time.
Take it, yes, they should have sent it to all of them and said, take care of your people. So who knows? They want to do it batch by batch. From this university, they go to the next university.
But I think there is some problem in communication gap. Keeping the people informed of what is going to happen. Okay, we're starting with Unijust. After Unijust, we'll go to this university and all of that. But I don't know how huge or large the
that is an issue. Communication.
When I looked at that document very closely,
communication is always.
I realized that document does not have a time frame.
No, it does not. It does not have any time frame.
They didn't say we're going to pay federal universities by the end of this week or next week. So it is very necessary that we note that since there is no time frame, ASU has to realize that they made a mistake in the course of the agreement. They would have asked, when are we expecting? When should we stop expecting? So that the federal government will say, we're going to pay between February and May. Because right now, coming out to say only Unijust has received, the federal government can come up to say, we didn't tell you when we're going to pay, so we are paying in batches.
But the thing is that as at Monday, the federal government itself, from the Ministry of Education, told Nigerians that it has started.
It has started.
So it has started already.
Yes, but
with
like
University of Jos,
there is no time frame to when it is supposed.
Meaning they've started.
Basically, ASU should just relax.
Hold on.
Okay, ASU, they said you should hold on. All right. Can we get to some political issues once again? Sometimes people say, well, former presidents, whether military or civilian, are very powerful, you know, and okay, she has consented to it. Why am I asking this? Atiku and Makinde, all right, visited Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida and an ex-VP to seek backing for ADC. Some persons will say, IBB, he has been behind the stage for a very long time. How is he even faring? There have been rumors of this and that. Is he still that powerful? So what can we make of this visit? You think it's necessary? See, one thing is this, and there is something fishy here. You know where Makinde is,
of course,
and you know where Atiku is. For two of them to come together and say, well, support ADC, is that some form of fight against APC?
Do not forget that Makinde's PDP is still hanging. So
Nigeria. Okay, so yes, I buy with this first and foremost. Makinde is still shaky.
His PDP is not balanced.
Well,
for now, Wike's PDP is the
so with this now, there is an indication that he may be defecting to ADC. Is that what it means?
Well, I didn't say so. Ramsey, you said. So I'm thinking. Let me start with. Let me become an advocate of welfare. Okay. So when last did Atiku and Makinde go to visit Badamasi Babangida to know how well he's doing? And if they have done so, why did it not make the news? So why is it making the news now? Because of course it is time for elections, or of course the if, because already we are there. Okay, so why is it making news now? And why are they talking about it? Why are they going to visit him now? Okay, I will not fail to say there is some sort of power that ex-presidents have, and it might not be the power to be able to convince voters. It could only be that power to be able to talk one out of a particular decision. So I'm thinking that there is going to be a big issue in the north and in the west in the upcoming election. There's going to be a whole lot of talks for some persons to step away, and there's going to be a whole lot of talks for someone or some people not to vote, some others. With this visit, we are only looking forward to having a very competitive 2027 election.
All right, Charity, do you see this coming? This visit?
I'm not surprised. Why would I be surprised that former Vice President Atiku and the governor of Oyo State, Makinde, have gone to visit IBB? IBB has always been someone who, anytime there's an election, contestants go there to see him. Whether there's an election coming or he has always been that kind of person. I remember in the early 2000s where they used to say, at some point they would say he wants to contest, but he never came out to contest. But people going to see him has always been there, which is expected, because IBB is a powerful statesman in Nigeria. He was a military president in Nigeria, and he is somebody who has his own impact in Nigeria. He created MAMSA and so many other destiny in this country. And since he stepped away from the corridors of power, he has been powerful, and he's still powerful. Remember what happened during his book launch? You could see the caliber of people that were there. That is to tell you that this is somebody that is still relevant, even in politics and in the corridors of powers. But one thing about IBB is that to whom everyone that goes to see him, he encourages you. He tells you, you go. But the ones he would like to talk to and say, well, I don't think they are there yet. When they get to that level, where he will begin to say, okay, where he will want to advise that, okay, you should step aside or that. But one thing that IBB is known for is that each person that goes there, IBB will give you his support.
So this visit now is just like a familiarization visit?
Yes, I support you.
What are you thinking? Let me look into your heart. Are you trying to say he's going to advise Atiku not to run again?
No.
Are you that what you're thinking?
I don't see IBB advising Atiku not to run. And has he come out clearly to say he's running? Because so many Nigerians are actually expecting Atiku to flaunt somebody, like to push somebody.
But are you sure he's not going to run? Because some persons are saying he would want to run.
He's still too young to run.
Well, let's see how it plays out.
He's still too young to run.
But the visit to IBB is significant.
He's still very young.
That road is the road that every powerful politicians must travel. They go there.
Oh, all right, let's come to, I was talking with someone a few days ago of how powerful, in quotes, Nigerian governors are. And what actually took us there is the issue of local government autonomy that the Supreme Court has ruled a very long time ago. The president have talked, now he's tired. Even today in the papers, Tinubu told governors to get to work on jobs, health, and of course, infrastructure. What are we saying? Are the governors becoming too powerful? We are rounding up as it is.
Well, I think it is very necessary to note first and foremost that the president oversees the affairs of the country, Nigeria. The governors are more closer to the people as far as the state is concerned. And so it is not wrong for the governor, for the president to say to the governors, please go back. He will not be able to go around 36 states.
But the ones he has told them before, have they yielded to it? The issue of local government autonomy, for instance.
And that is why I want to now tilt towards the aspect where you said earlier that, or you asked the question if the governors are becoming too powerful. And I almost wanted to consent to say yes. But I am very careful with the saying yes, because, of course, yes, the governors are becoming very powerful in their states.
All right, let me get to charity as it is right now. The issue of Supreme Court saying, because the reason why I'm particular about this is the president had told them before, governors allow local government to be autonomy, allow them to be autonomous. But then nothing happened. Federal government even had to go to court and they won that case. But up to now, nothing is happening. And yet the president is still speaking to governors. Do this, get to work. It means they are not working. But then, would they really go to work?
Whether the governors will go to work?
Yes. And why have they not gone to work for a very long time? This is 2 years
First of all, the president has every authority to tell them to go to work. Do you know why? Since President Tinubu became president, the monthly allocation, in fact, since the removal of subsidy, the monthly allocations to governors have tripled. So governors do not have any excuse not to deliver.
But are they delivering?
That is why he's asking them
to go to work.
He's telling them, because this is a man who has done everything possible to make these governors comfortable. Why? Ask yourself, why is it that when subsidy was removed, the ideal thing usually in Nigeria is, you see that, especially governors from opposition, they will start talking. They will talk and talk and talk, but nobody's saying anything.
Because they're getting money.
The proceeds, they are the major beneficiaries of what is coming from that subsidy removal. So governors have enough money to execute, to deliver to the people, healthcare, infrastructure, and everything. But then, this is Nigeria.
This is Nigeria. And that's why we say that because of our time. We don't have time. We don't have time anymore. We can talk about this.
Some governors that are eyeing second term, they will use this and hold it back.
Meaning they are holding our money for 2027. That's what you're trying to say. All right. You're now saying. So the president is just making an audio statement. That's what you mean.
I did not say
that. All right. Hello, everyone. This is the size of journalists Roundtable today. Many thanks, Charity Marcus, for joining us on the program.
Thank you too for having me.
Thank you very much, Uyeme, for joining us, and Niete, I think I like that, for joining us on the Journalist Roundtable today.
Thank you very much, Ramsey.
All right, everyone, we would have loved to continue, but then time is not our friend, and we can't turn back the hands of time. We'll come on your way again. Many thanks for staying with us. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Bye-bye for now.